football
Century.
week. No, the week.
Yep.
Not the century, the week. This week. Stanford, Oregon. Pac-12 battle. The winner of this game has a pretty good chance of, at the very least, reaching the Rose Bowl. And the winner has a pretty good chance of getting to that national title game.
I sort of sunk myself into the Stanford allegiance last week.
Did.
We're watching that LSU Alabama game. I'm going, I think Stanford might be the best team in the country. So I'm gonna ride the Cardinals.
Wisconsin.
That was 2 weeks ago. I said Wisconsin. I still think is probably a top 5 team.
So should it be Stanford or Wisconsin in the national title?
You're off the Boise State bandwagon?
That's funny. I've never been on it. Have tried to set fire to it many times. I'm on Stanford this week. I think they're more solid. Take aside Andrew Luck. Even without Luck, it's a very solid team. And then Luck is sort of the X factor in the whole thing. We know about Oregon's offensive firepower and whatnot. I think this is kind of Stanford's year. Like the Cardinal.
Yeah, I agree. I like Stanford too. I think their defense. I mean, you look at some other teams. I don't think they're as talented, but like you would think of a typical elite academic school. They've got a bunch of smart kids that know what they're doing and are willing to try hard. Their offensive line is amazing. I mean, they just basically bulldoze people. And then they also have a kid who's going to be the top pick in the draft. And I think they're going to have some tough time stopping Oregon running it. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I think they'll probably win by like 10 points or so.
I don't want to do this, but I'm going to agree with. We're going to have the old clean sweep here.
No,
we're not.
Okay,
well,
okay.
Since Kriens will, he'll say what he will about Oregon, I will just echo the sentiments here. In saying that Stanford will be the winner, and I think the eventual Pac-12 champion.
They're certainly in the front runner seat. If they win that, they'll have a two-game division lead over everyone else.
And home field advantage for the championship.
I'll go Oregon.
Okay.
I'll go Oregon just to see it all. Just a big mess of crap with Oregon, with their only loss being to LSU, and how did the voters use that to put them up in the polls? If their one loss is to LSU and Alabama, if their only loss is to LSU, then how do you figure that out?
Sort that out.
If Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, they're both at one loss. How do you figure that out then?
Could be nasty.
You dial up the algorithm, Pythagorean theorem, whatever you want to do, they'll come up with the answer.
Yes.
But Stanford hasn't lost this whole year, and I think
it's the first time for everything.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
They've been saying it. They've been saying that.
Whoever they are, that's what they say.
They say a lot of stuff.
They say a lot of stuff.
Obviously, the Penn State game doesn't have as much meaning on the field anymore. We still got to talk about it because it does have Big Ten implications, especially for Penn State. They are in the driver's seat now to go to that Big Ten championship game in Nebraska. What the hell happened to them?
I think Nebraska wins by 3 touchdowns.
I think prior to 3 days ago, I would have taken Penn State.
But
with all the other distractions, though, and this isn't like, my coach is going to retire, like in a positive way, so I want to play well for him. This is like a negative, like, oh, geez, we are having a lot of stuff rain down on us right now. And, I think there's some distractions you can overcome. I don't think this is one that's like that. I think it's going to be a very ugly, low-scoring game, and I don't think Penn State's going to come out on top.
It's interesting, we think that Coach Paterno should be gone by this weekend. What if he is not? I mean, they're planning on him being the head coach. If he's not there, he's let go.
It's true. He could be gone
before Saturday.
And what difference would that make anyway? I mean, we can talk about Paterno's influence.
No, and I'm saying it won't make a difference in the game.
Yeah.
You got a team that. Wouldn't it be interesting to be at practice this week? And what are they saying at practice? Let's focus on Nebraska. How can you possibly do that?
It's ridiculous.
Nebraska by quite a bit.
the Big Ten's just a mess. You have no idea who's coming out of either division.
I think I can safely say Minnesota, Purdue, and Northwestern,
and Indiana
will not. Other than that, I don't know.
I'll put Illinois in there. Well, I have Iowa making a late charge. You have Nebraska, Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State, Wisconsin.
All in play for that championship.
Unbelievable.
I think before Minnesota lost to Michigan State, they were mathematically still eligible to win that division.
I think you're right.
And
It's incredible.
and then they lose. So.
Well, it turns out Minnesota's not the messiest program in that conference now. So
Yeah.
That's good.
consider it a minor victory, I suppose.
Friday, Thursday night, there's a big game, ACC showdown, Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech.
What's
Virginia,
the ACC?
Virginia?
That's the conference?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Clemson's not even involved
Yeah.
in this.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
terrible.
Wow. Wow. I don't. Well, we shouldn't be talking about it then.
Okay.
Cross it
Take,
off the list.
take Georgia Tech for the upset.
Okay.
I can't really get a good feel on this game. I think I'm going to take Virginia Tech. I am in no way confident about that.
I will use the Charlie Hildebrand algorithm to figure this game out. There's Virginia Tech, no option. Georgia Tech option. We'll take Georgia Tech.
Nice, nice. Here we go. Speaking of the Big Ten, you have Iowa. They host Michigan State. You were on Iowa last week over Michigan. What's your feelings this week? Or do they come down? But it's at home, and
They
they're very
come
good.
down.
They're very good at
They
home.
come down. Just like they lose to Minnesota, they're up for Michigan. They're back down for Michigan State. If I'm an Iowa fan, I could not be more frustrated with the way that program is kind of settled out, and that Kirk Ferentz, right or wrong, is kind of stuck to his ways. And this is a team that, from what their fans and their followers say, is kind of rests on their laurels with the lead, and it comes back to bite them a lot, as it did with Minnesota. And Michigan State, I think, is a team that is up on them before Iowa doesn't lose that game, probably. So you always kind of have that puzzling game with Iowa. They had one with Minnesota, and I think Michigan State is obviously the better team.
I kind of like what you said there. I think you made a lot of truthful statements. I think Michigan State's a very puzzling team too, though. And basically, I think, as far as I know, Iowa is undefeated at home, winless on the road. Michigan State struggled on the road this year, so I'm going to take Iowa solely because they're at home.
Okay.
Which means you can almost guarantee that Michigan State's going to win then.
Number 20, Auburn is at Georgia.
War Eagle.
Remember after week 1?
They're 0-2.
Roll Tide.
The first 2 weeks.
Remember, yeah, we
They
were.
lose to Boise
Yeah.
State. They lose to South Carolina. Now they've won 7 in a row, looking to rule the roost.
And Auburn was so hot coming out of the gate.
They were.
Everybody's so surprised. I will say Georgia. Mark Richt is like a folk hero down there.
I like Mark Richt. I've kind of always a little bit liked Georgia. I think Auburn's going to win, though. I just get the feeling that Georgia's not going to kind of keep going on this kind of incredible run and is going to come back down to earth a little bit.
I think Chiswick, and in the final whistle, Chiswick's sort of walking out into the midfield.
We won again. We won again.
Anything
What
within,
happened?
anything within 4 points, they win.
Exactly it. Yeah, like the Tigers.
The word says Miami at Florida State. Nobody cares.
No,
10 years ago,
Nor
people
should they.
cared.
Nor should they.
And now they don't.
10 years ago, it's the game of the century.
It is.
I'll take Florida State. I think they still have some talent and have struggled a bit, but Miami has really, really struggled at times. And, yeah.
You should probably pick Florida State. I think we had BCS.
We did. I was hot on Florida State.
I was not. I'm like, why is Florida State in the top 5?
I was hot on Florida State. Something that was pointed out by somebody on Twitter today was Al Golden. He's at Miami. That program's in shambles. His dream job, Penn State, that one's
Shambles.
in shambles too.
Yeah,
Go back to
played at
Temple.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Go back to Temple, where there's actually some stability.
Huh?
Plus, you're in Philly.
Boy, who would have thought
Huh.
that 3 years
You want to
ago?
rule the MAC? Huh? What's wrong with the MAC? Tuesday night MAC
They
game.
score.
every
They
week.
score points.
You watch the last one?
points.
in Northern Illinois.
I hate
A
that.
decade ago, the
Love
MAC
the
used
MAC.
to be the best conference to get NFL quarterbacks out of. What the
Yeah,
hell?
you bet.
A lot.
You bet.
Then Byron Leftwich happened.
Yeah.
Al Golden.
They all left and went to the NFL.
Omar Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Ben Roethlisberger's been pretty good.
Go back to Jacobs. Al Golden, coach at
Temple.
Temple's in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia's own Joe Frazier. He died. We'll recap his legacy next here on the Sports Lounge. Kind of forgotten in all of the attention paid to Penn State is one of the greatest boxers of all time, Joe Frazier. He passed away earlier in the week. Kind of like his career, he was overshadowed whether it be by George Foreman or Muhammad Ali. He's overshadowed now in his death by a scandal that rocks college football. So, your thoughts on Joe Frazier and all that he meant to the world of boxing?
Well, what was it, 67?
Yep.
It's kind of, youngish. Smoking Joe Frazier will go down in history as being the first man to take down Ali. Muhammad Ali, he went 1-2 against Ali in their sort of awesome little back and forth matches that they had.
I'd like to call it a trilogy.
Trilogy. There we go.
Better than the baseball.
I don't know where I put Smoking Joe on my list of favorite boxers. I suppose maybe top 5. You had some great ones from that era. Ali is one. I don't know. I like Larry Holmes. And George Foreman too. It's tough. I think we're getting to that time now where these great boxers from the 50s, 60s, 70s on up are getting up there in age, and we'll see if this starts a trend of these legends of the canvas to go down. Hopefully not.
Yeah, Frazier, great boxer. I think he might be the most underrated heavyweight champion ever, just because he gets lost in the shuffle with Ali. Had a left hook that could stop a Sherman
That
tank.
left hook.
Just amazing. And, bobbing and weaving to get inside and then just unleash it on the unfortunate chap whose jaw was broke then.
Yeah, when talking about boxing, I always like to hear about the people who would take 2 to give 1. And Joe Frazier being one of those guys. And a very limited boxing knowledge that I have, I know that there's 3 great boxers in history. There's Ali, there's Frazier, and there's Foreman. And I think,
Rocky Marciano.
Joe Louis.
I'm talking about in that,
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
In this era.
that grand era of boxing. And
Okay.
of course, before that, there was.
Johnson.
Basically the last time it was at its peak,
Yes.
and it's kind of
Yes.
been falling since then.
Sorry for the lack of clarification.
Too bad.
But I think it's kind of too bad
Good job, Marcus.
that
Good job.
he's lost on this when we could really look back at what a great career he's had. And I think he might have not liked being overshadowed by Ali, but he got 3 great fights that people are going to remember forever.
Yeah, won the first one in the
Yeah.
fight of the century.
It's not like he didn't
But
win.
yeah, unfortunately, lost in the shuffle. From Philadelphia, who does Philadelphia have a statue of? Rocky Balboa,
Fake fight.
not of Joe Frazier, which is still kind of mind-boggling.
based off a real person, but the statue's not based off a real person. So
It's based on
Charlie,
Sylvester Stallone.
yeah.
Charlie
He's a real person.
Charlie Wepner.
Yeah,
The real Rocky.
yeah, Rocky Balboa was much better than Webster was.
That's true.
What if Ali loses to not to Foreman, but to Frazier in that last fight? How does that change how both of them are looked at?
What if?
Since basically that was the end of their careers.
I think
Everything
that-
after that was they were past their prime.
I think people would look on it more as Joe Frazier of being the better boxer. I still think he would have this. People would look back with this sense of kind of maybe pride with Ali, with how part of the change in culture and all of that stuff. But he was so. Whether you want to say he was mouthy or he was just good at talking with the media.
Charismatic.
But I think people would probably look at Frazier as a better boxer then.
Is there anything we could compare that to today, that rivalry? I've heard Nadal and Federer, I think that's as close as you can get as far as one-on-one.
I don't think you have
But
a
even
talker.
teams.
I don't think you have a talker like Ali though.
How about Usain Bolt
Against everybody.
against Tyson Gay? With Gay, you got the second fastest man
You
in
wanna
history
go
of the
there?
planet. And then you got Usain Bolt, just a little bit better. There's your Ali, there's Frazier.
The only thing I could come up with on the radio last night was in 08 and 09 when Alabama and Florida played for the SEC title and who was going to win the national title. If all of those players would have been back and done it for a 3rd year in a row, I think of recent times, that's like the only thing I could think of that would be like that.
I don't want to go with a cop-out, but I have nothing.
Colts Patriots?
But I'm caught up on the talking part, and the Colts and Patriots don't talk.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and people got all caught up in the Steelers and
Who does
Ravens.
talk?
If those
Does anybody
teams-
talk?
Nobody really does.
Ravens talk.
You have a lot of
Jets talk.
If Kevin Garnett had a person who was really opposite him that he went against a lot, then you would have one. I think.
Okay.
I can't think. I mean,
That's okay. If you can't think,
I don't have.
move on.
I'm sorry.
Move on.
Bottom line, though, Joe Frazier, great boxer, and when they say down goes Frazier, that was actually when he got knocked down by Foreman, not by Ali.
That's exactly right.
And I think a lot of people think that it was Ali. It was actually when Foreman.
I'm left-handed because of Joe Frazier. Left-handed.
Down goes Bill Smith. Hell of a tenure for Bill Smith. Terry Ryan, interim. Just cross that off. Just have him be the GM.
Sounds like Terry Ryan. Welcome back for one.
I mean,
it sounds like it's going to be more than interim.
It should be, because he was still there. He never went anywhere. It's kind of like, well, I'll step down a little bit.
He
pulled
had
back.
like 2-3 years where he was pretty not involved in this whole process, and then this year he was quite close, but not making obviously the decisions, because I think he was smart enough to know that you don't just give $5 million to an unproven Japanese shortstop who can't hit.
That's number one, and then the Santana trade. That's another one off top. Those will probably go down as Bill Smith's legacy, however brief. And Terry Ryan inherits a pretty messy situation with a bullpen that's lost, a starting rotation where you don't have a number one, you don't have a number two starter.
You have a bunch of 4s and 5s.
You got your star players who get hurt, questions of toughness. It's a strange, odd situation in Minnesota. We'll see what he does with it. He's got some pieces to replace for sure.
It's odd to see the Twins make a move like this, canning Bill Smith 4 years into a tenure when they had 2 managers in the last 20-odd years, and you've had 3 GMs in about that time too. But I think it shows that the Twins are at least looking to move ahead and able to make some sort of progress, hopefully.
Shows that the poll ads maybe aren't
They're
sleeping
not,
at the wheel.
they're not the notorious cheapskates that they were known as before the new stadium.
I guess if they start winning games, win the division in the next 2 years or so, I'll say Ryan probably has earned his stripes then.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think you guys mentioned a couple bad deals. I won't let them get off the hook for the Garza and Bartlett to Tampa Bay for Delman Young. Although Delman Young worked out.
Brendan Harris.
He was fine, but you gave up a decent pitcher you could have built around, and Bartlett had 2 good seasons for Tampa Bay. I would have rather had those 2 seasons for the Twins when Delman Young gave you 1 good season.
Was he there for the David Ortiz trade too?
No.
Okay, never mind.
So,
Next week on the Sports Lounge, we'll talk about the SDSU men's basketball season. Because on the women last show, we'll talk more about the men now as they get their season started this weekend at Frost Arena, before they go on the road for 8 straight games. You'll be at?
I'll be at the first road game.
The first road game.
At Minnesota.
Williams Arena.
Williams Arena.
Look for it.
I'll be in the perch. The terrific perch at Williams.
Nice. You want to be bold enough to pick that upset?
I will not pick that upset. I will not pick anything there.
Okay.
I'll to stay politically correct, because
Matchup!
Drew doesn't want me picking games.
Good.
But
Good.
I will say that of one of these 4 big conference teams that they'll play in Minnesota, Georgia, Nebraska, and Washington, they will get pounded once, and they will have a very good chance of winning another one.
I'm saying they'll go 2-2. What the heck?
0-4.
Well,
Beat Nebraska, beat Minnesota, lose the other 2.
I won't be here then on Monday when you guys do divulge into this, but the Ken Pomeroy has him at 22-8 and going undefeated.
You're a big fan of that, aren't you?
I like the way he's.
Yeah, but who was that?
Who's his
SDSU's
coach? Who's his coach?
Some Rodriguez or something.
Oh, that was what a mess up that was.
But other than that, everything checked out.
Other than the head coach, I mean.
Pomeroy likes the Jacks going undefeated at home.
I don't see it.
No.
I don't see it.
Be fun, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
What do you think lacks in the Jackson men that you say 0-4? I know it's not it's definitely not
'Cause
easy
they're
to start
playing
schedule-wise.
Teams that are better than they are?
How much better though? How much better
Dozen
is
points?
Georgia?
They made the tournament last year.
How much better is Western Michigan, a team that they lost to by 2-3 points?
SDSU should win. I would, with it being at home, season opener, I would expect them to win that one.
You said 0-4.
No,
We're
against
talking about
those,
the 4 power games.
Okay.
and I think
Not to start.
in the first 9 it's probably 3-6.
Okay.
Say 3-6 entering conference play.
Yes.
All right. We'll see about that.
We'll see about that.
It's a tough slate. It's not like last
No.
year.
Where you got
Yeah, they could be
Open-
3-6.
they open with
Teachers
6
College
straight
of
wins.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Coming in 7 times.
I hope so.
What did we spend our $75 on this week?
I don't know about you guys. I bought this copy of Sports Illustrated, Albert Pujols.
Nice.
I spent mine early on Friday and Saturday for Hobo.
Oh. Oh.
So yeah, it was already gone when this week started.
Mine is in the mail. It's coming. I won't say what it is. It involves. It's an accessory. Some sort of physical accessory.
Is there a belt involved?
Beards.com.
Beards.net.
Oh.
Guys.
Org.
Beards.net.
EDUGOD.
I'm a member of their club, and Beards.net is sending me some items through the mail.
Good.
Cost me $75.
I bought this couch.
Not bad for 75.
Just a little sectional.
First thought comes when you said it.
They had to cut off the other half of the couch.
Well,
So we got half a couch.
it smells kind of weird. Like the house. I mean,
I'm used
a
to
little
it,
weird.
but I'm sure.
Feels like we're in Vince Lombardi's house or something. It's kind of like old 50s.
I feel like if Jack Hanna lived in the Midwest, this is what his living room would be.
You know what I like?
Yeah, we can't see. Yeah, you guys can't see it. All the
But
background.
when we roll the end credits, maybe you'll get some scenery shots.
Take some shots here. Take some shots.
Take
When
some
we're done.
shots.
When we're done.
When we're done. Take a shot.
But I'm glad something that kind of went unnoticed. We kind of started in the daylight, and now it's kind of dark now. That's kind of a nice
Nice
deal.
little touch. We talk so darn much that the sun sets and it's dark now.
Believe it or not, we didn't plan that.
All of that.
We've got a coaching show to do, so
Yeah.
seems like we're done here.
You gotta head out.
Gotta head out. Come back next week. Again, like us on the Facebook. Search the Sports Lounge. Dig for it. Like us there, and you'll see some clips from previous shows. So like us.
You can go back, look at all the dumb things we've said and things we predicted incorrectly.
It's all on the record.
And a handful of the things that we did correctly and made us look smart.
If you would like us to have this show in your facility, please, we probably would. So just ask us via many other communication sources, Facebook, whatever. So return next week, see where we're at, coming up on the next show. You've been watching the Sports Lounge.
Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. How's your new love? Are you happy? Hope you're doing fine. Just to know it means so much to me. What's that, darling? How am I doing? I'm doing all right, except I can't sleep, and I cry all night till dawn. What I'm trying to say is I love you and I miss you, and I'm so sorry that I did you wrong. Look up, darling. Let me kiss you. Just for old time's sake, let me hold you in my arms one more time. Thank you, darling. May God bless you. And each step you take bring you closer to the things you seek to find. Goodbye, darling. I gotta go now. Gotta try to find a way to lose these memories of a love so warm and true. And if you